Now, before I go too far, I'm not saying goodbye to Alexa and getting rid of my Echoes. I will still be using them in my house for all different things they can do. But when it comes to smart home control and automations, I'm switching over to Apple's HomeKit for now. For this video, I want to share with you some of the features I like to hopefully help you get a better understanding if you're starting an Apple smart home or maybe thinking about switching over. For the Echo folks, this video will give you an idea what Apple is up to. Over the past 2 years, Apple's HomeKit has come a long way, to the point that as an iPhone user, there's just some better native smart home features. So for now, HomeKit and HomePods are going to take over the automations and control of my smart home, although my wife will probably still want to do everything through the Echoes. Now, are you using Apple's HomeKit? Let us know in the comment section. Also, let me know if you'd like to see more of these HomeKit videos in the future. Number one is OS integration. One thing Google and Apple have over Amazon is being on the phone that people are carrying around already. So there's an integration on the OS level that Amazon just doesn't have. With Apple's phones and tablets, you can swipe down from the corner of the screen and you can have control of your smart devices. I can see my individual lights that are on now, and I can hit the home and see my favorite scenes, or actually go in and look at the individual rooms. So if I do want to adjust something in the office, there are all of my office lights, and that is right. They're ready to swipe down to control your house. The Home app is available across all Apple devices, including the MacBook. I like that I can control a scene or a device just by holding down the side button and speaking to Siri. Key light off. I don't have to worry about being near a speaker for it to hear me. Key light on. And I don't have to use any kind of wake word, which is convenient. I've always used Apple TVs. I started with them before the Fire TVs ever came out. One thing with them is they never synced up with my Echoes. I never really cared. But now you can sync up a HomePod Mini with your Apple TV and control your Apple TV using the HomePod. That adds more value that wasn't there as an Apple user before. Also on the Apple TV, I can access my smart devices by favorites, individual devices, or by room, including checking out cameras. We'll take a look at that. Now, the disclaimer, not all devices work with Apple's HomeKit. That's one of the things I've been saying over the past couple of years is try to buy devices that work with all the assistants so you have some flexibility to move around between assistants. I will be keeping my Echoes in the loop. That way I can use them with my Ring doorbell, Ring alarm, and Ring cameras. Although I am able to access all of those cameras because I have the Hoops Hub, which allows me to bring those into Apple's HomeKit. Now I'm going to show you some of these features on my iPad since it's a bigger screen. But if you're using your phone, you can do all the same stuff and it all looks the same. Number two is the Home app. I've been using it for years now. And really, Google and Amazon need a similar smart home dedicated app. The Alexa app is a little clunky and slow to work with. Like I mentioned earlier, the Home app is across all your devices. I love that it's on my Apple Watch and I can just hit a widget and I'm right there into my Home app. When you set up your devices on the Home app, it's nice. You pick a room where your device will go, and when you do, it creates a page just for those devices, which makes it really easy to access any of those devices. And if you want, you can put your scenes and favorite devices into the home screen. Now, to add a device to the home screen, you would go to the room you want, you would find the device you want, hold down on it, hit the little gear, and then you flip the switch to include it in favorites. So really easy to navigate and move things around. Doing a scene is the same type of thing. You flip the switch on and it's in your favorites and even easier to get to. Also in the app, you could change the icon of your devices, so it makes it a little easier to spot them. I do love within the Home app that you can create scenes. You don't have to rely on importing scenes from other apps. You can pick what you want to go in them. You can dial your colors in, your intensity, and then you could save all that as a scene you can access later. I really like that I can control my house from my watch. There's a home app widget. I hit that, takes me right into the app, and here I can see devices that are active, temperature, lights that are on. I could use the intercom. Here's some devices that it thinks I may want to control. And then there's the favorites, the different bedrooms, and cameras. And I can actually see my cameras right from the app. So I can go to my doorbell, which is a Ring doorbell. I can connect to it, I can hear, and I can even speak through it. All the home app features carry over to the Apple TV, and you can see here that you have access to your favorites, you have access to individual rooms if you want, your cameras. And a cool feature is when you select a camera, you can actually see all the devices that are nearby. So for example, you select your camera in the backyard, you can have the lights right there to turn on to see what's going on in the backyard. Number 3 is automations. For me, there are some automation options that just work out better. If you go under automations, you're gonna see that there are the same time triggers and motion sensor triggers that you would find on the Echoes. Now, one of the ones I really like that is not on the Echoes is an accessory is controlled. With HomeKit, you can have pretty much any device trigger another device or scene, which is really cool and opens up a lot of possibilities. Now in my kitchen, I have one switch, which is our main switch, and then we have our island bar area that has its own switch, which is in a horrible spot. I've written 2 different automations. The first one is when the kitchen light is turned on, it's going to tell that inconveniently placed switch to turn on. Now there's a delay in the second switch coming up, but I don't really care about that. I love that we actually use those lights now. Now the other automation I made is the opposite of that, which just turns those lights off. Now to do something similar with my Echoes, I had to actually use my Samsung SmartThings hub. It's kind of silly that we can't just do that already with any device triggering another device in the Echoes. Now another option I like is the location-based options where you can choose when people arrive. And here you can have it set up so the first person arrives. If anybody arrives home, it will trigger this automation. Within these different automations, you can actually pick who would trigger that routine. So it can be just me. So when I arrive, it triggers this routine and it will ignore my wife. Or I can program that same type of routine when I leave. So the last person to leave the house out of my wife and I would determine that routine running. Now under the Shortcut app, there are some more automations. You have the choice to create personal automations. And these are automations that don't run through the house, but really are driven by your device. So I can pick to have my alarm go off and trigger a scene or a device. I can come in here and pick things that when I receive a message or I get an email, it really adds automations across all different areas. Now on my phone, I've created a couple of personal automations that use NFC tags. And NFC tags are basically little electronic stickers that your phone or other devices can read. So I have one here that when I put my phone next to it, it's going to turn my lights off. And then I have another one that's here that when I put my phone next to it, it's going to turn my lights on. Things like that are so convenient. And what's nice is with those stickers, I could have my phone do one thing and I could program my wife's phone to do a completely different thing with the same stickers because it's a personal automation for the device, not your home. One thing to note is HomeKit automations don't have those extra steps that you can trigger, like giving you a news flash briefing, what's on your calendar, the weather, all that stuff. But number 4, shortcuts can help you out with some of that stuff. Shortcuts is like routines and automations on steroids. This can be used with devices that maybe don't necessarily support HomeKit, but they work with Siri, such as the SwitchBot. I use that to turn on my coffee machine. And in this automation, it turns on the coffee machine, it waits 90 seconds, then it sets my lamp to the on position in here. It then does the run my office TV shortcut. That shortcut inside of it turns on the TV. It waits 10 seconds. It then opens Hulu on my office TV, and it's all dialed in, ready for me to come sit down after coffee's made. Now, my shortcut knowledge is minimal at this point. Luckily, there are smarter people than me out there. I recently started watching Brad Lloyd's channel. He's got some great information on shortcuts that can help you out. Check him out. His link is in the description. And one of the things that's nice about automations is you can put them on the home screen. I have 3 of them right here that are for my TVs. So if I hit my garage TV, it's going to turn on the TV out there. It waits about 5 seconds to make sure the Apple TV's on. It then launches in, changes to my account and waits like 5 seconds after it changes to the account, and then will actually load the TV app up. Very easy. Anytime I'm walking up, just hit that on the home screen and launch right into it. It's very convenient since I have multiple people in the house. Took the time to write the shortcut. Now I don't have to on my account. It's automate with shortcuts. Now, before I continue, if you're just starting out with HomeKit, there are some great channels that I'll link down below. You have Modern Day Tech, that's Eric, great supporter of this channel, a good guy. Shane Watley, also a good guy, a lot of great information. You have HomeKit Authority. You have Chris Young, great information between those, so definitely go visit those people. Number 5 is the latest security and standards. Apple is supporting Thread and Matter. And if you're not familiar with those, Apple's HomeKit has always been one of the more secure platforms. Matter is based on an open source version of Apple's HomeKit. Now, Thread connects your devices together so they can speak to each other and create a self-healing network that is more robust and has better security. I've been buying more than Nanoleaf Essential bulbs and strips. The color isn't great on them, but they have great white light and Thread support. And with that Thread, they respond quickly. They stay online, and even without an internet connection, stuff still works. Now, Amazon's talked about Thread and Matter, but not seeing it in their latest devices makes me wonder how soon they're going to jump on that, especially when it seems like they put some of that energy towards Sidewalk, which is their own proprietary network. Now, Google, on the other hand, has devices that support Thread, and they're ready for Matter. They're just waiting for the certification before all that turns on. Now, for security, Apple's HomeKit has always required a certification. I think a lot of people don't really understand what Apple's HomeKit is about. To me, it's more like Zigbee hubs and communication. It is meant so that devices can speak locally. Apple's attitude is not everything needs to connect to the internet. You don't need all your devices to talk to the web. So keep it local, which helps with security. I think in the next couple of years, as Matter and Thread devices become more prevalent, it's going to be kind of silly not to buy one of those more secure devices and go with traditional Wi-Fi devices we know now. Now, Apple users, HomeKit might be a better option for you because of the integration with your devices. There are more and more affordable devices coming out from companies like Miros and Aqara. Whether you go for HomeKit or not, I would try to buy devices that work with all the assistants. We are in the beginning stages of this smart home space. Things are going to change a lot over the years, so give yourself the flexibility to move around within the space. Now, what assistant runs your home? Let us know in the comment section. Next, make sure to check out this video over here for some Apple smart home tips. There's some great stuff there. I'm not just saying it because I made it. It is good. Other people have said it too. So I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Bye.